You saw the title of the video, you can infer what's going to happen. You're smart, aren't you? Hi, my name's Alex, and today we're gonna play God. The Rona's got us stuck indoors, and I've watched far too many hours of content from the one guy I'd convert to Mormonism for, and this sad Canadian. Listen, I like politics. Not the donkey, elephant, bipartisan, preschool, baby's first ideology shit, but real politics. Which is why I use the totally unbiased and completely encompassing of all possible spectrums political compass. I also like world building, which means today all you artists, GMs, and fanfiction writers who've just understood the scope of their crimes are going to get a solid example of the disease that Tolkien was patient zero of. And I'm stuck inside like everyone else, and I need something to do. So, today I'm going to make several fantasy nations based entirely on the four quadrants of the political compass. Why is this my first video, you ask? I don't see any of you fuckers doing real praxis out there. So like every good and loving god, we start our universe with a maelstrom of fire, destruction, the smashing of matter and antimatter together like a 5-year-old with a Ken doll and a puke-soaked stuffed animal, and everyone's favorite thing from 4th grade science, plate tectonics. Nice fucking try, buddy. If you thought I was going to put myself through plate tectonics hell a second time, you're as wrong as the step fantasy category on Pornhub, buddy. We do continents first. Now just open the shitty digital cartography tool of your choice and... done. Thank you, Kevin MacLeod, for providing your mind-numbing music for another one of thousands of low-budget creators. I solemnly swear this oath that if anyone is to mispronounce your very Irish last name again, I will be mildly annoyed in your stead. Now, as you can see, what we've done here is artfully allowed the chaos of the universe to predict the movements of my 80-year-old arthritis-stricken hand that will take 60 years from now, and use that to let the essence of existence draw out my world just like a real planet. From there, we let some random biomes rain from the sky while following a few set of rules. 1. Deserts only get to exist behind mountains or along the giant crab circle. 2. We rely only on river fusion, not river fission, which doesn't happen because gravity. 3. Swamps are livable, but they're the center of chaotic energy. Just look at Florida. 4. Mountains don't pop out of nowhere. Also, this is how I'm going to pretend I have tectonic plates. 5. Do a base amount of research into physical geography before making rivers flow out of the fucking ocean. Next, we just perform the painstaking act of figuring out what technological period to put the world's people in. I will be selecting only from the Bronze Age when politics was invented up to the Industrial Revolution, because everything went downhill for all the ideologies after that. Except neoliberalism, our favorite status quo. Thanks, centrists. And I will be putting humans here for the most part, because in reality, what other species would invent something like politics? We carefully just... Okay, looks like we're getting funky with the Iron Age. Of course, this is a fantasy world, and... Wait a minute, who needs magic? We live in post-Game of Thrones Earth! Magic is cool. But because I'm not willing to put the effort in, I'm just going to say magic comes from gods or something that represents each ideology. And there we have it, boys, all the effort I'm willing to put into the physical geography of this cursed world. tend to associate the authoritarian right with the actions of a certain German dictator who... Wait, I can't monetize this. With the actions of Adolf Hitler... What happened? Did I black out? Why is there a play button branded on my forehead? The authoritarian right, or the Auth right, does not in fact associate much with fascism. Now don't get me wrong, they are definitely still racist and traditionalist, but their traditionalism takes the form of monarchism. That one ideology every fantasy writer has accidentally been definitely promoting since forever? Now with each civilization I like to start with a vibe. And what I mean by vibe is that every civilization has a vibe, like the East Asia vibe, which would include ancient China, Japan, and Korea, or the Middle Eastern vibe, which encompasses every caliphate under the sun, Persia, and Mesopotamia. The word aesthetic is really interchangeable with vibe here. These vibes are what I base stuff like architecture and warfare off of. For Auth Right, I'm thinking the obvious, like Rome, Western European kingdoms, and anything related to Catholicism, but I also like to throw in the Middle East vibe, and away we roll. Looks like we're going to the Middle East. Let's land them in the desert, boys. The Auth Right hate other people in their country, up until the owner of their favorite Mexican restaurant gets deported. The basic principles I'm going to draw on for them are nationalism, religiosity, ethno-nationalism, and isolationism. Also, I'm giving the Auth Rights the power to summon ghosts of their ancestors to battle as, like, sand clones, I guess. Y'all ever heard of Russia? Y'all ever heard of the Soviet Union? The authoritarian left, or the Auth Left, is where everyone from socialist to Marxist-Leninist lies. They want a dictatorship where everything is owned by the state and distributed equally amongst the people. They also want to eat the rich. Not sure if that's the best way to solve a food shortage, but it's whatever. The Auth Left is known for annoying, edgy teenagers, annoying college kids, the color red, the entirety of Russia's cultural history, saying, "Real communism has never been tried," and this song. They enjoy sexualizing dictators and imprisoning their political opponents. Given the infrastructure of Iron Age civilizations, I'd say that a communist society would require a lot of people and a really good work ethic. For vibe, I'm thinking cold, or another biome that's low on resources and hard to survive in. Oh, and landlocked, so they can't just get on a boat and pillage other people. Looking at you, Vikings. So perhaps shamanistic Siberia would be a good option, or a more tropical place like the Khmer Empire. Buddhism is pretty communist if you think about it. I think the Incas were socialist also. Maybe. Alright, we're going Mesoamerican. Also, the Auth Left gets the power to supercharge one person with strength, speed, and perception from other people.
Okay, I know this is a really bad idea, but...
You know, like, almost every Zoomer? Or every Bernie supporter? Yeah, make those centrists hornier, angrier, and addicted to drugs. That's the Lib Left. As far as I can tell, the Lib Left wants communism, but also anarchy. I guess they want everyone to just act that way. Anyways, Lib Lefts hate white people, the banks, and nation borders. They have a bad habit of calling people who aren't Nazis Nazis, then proceeding to either cancel said not Nazis or commit acts of violence against them. They care about race, gender, and sexual orientation. Once communism takes over, the Auth Lefts will probably just execute them all. Lib Lefts are that one quirky ooh-woo friend you have, and you can't really figure out what's wrong with them until you see the crystal meth, coke, and LSD mixture rushing through their veins at the speed of light. The Lib Lefts are quite possibly the most dangerous ideology on this list, but they manage to just slip under the radar by way of catgirls, traps, and their, weirder side. Lib Left has a heavy hunter-gatherer vibe, so I'm definitely thinking they'll be a nomadic society. But they aren't cool enough to be the Mongols. No one's cool enough to be the Mongols. So let's make them a mix between, like, the Huns and Amazonian tribes, I guess. Also, they can blow shit up at the cost of their own health. Or light a blunt or something. It's Molotovs without the Molotovs.
Welcome to Uncap the Step.
Hey kid, you like freedom? The libertarian right is every person who's bought something on the dark web, everyone who mines cryptocurrency, and every Confederate who fought in the Civil War for the sake of the economy. Now it's important you beware Auth Rights who secretly disguise themselves as Lib Rights to appeal more to the general populace. These are not true anarcho-capitalists. In my humble opinion, anyone who thinks morality should be legislated isn't an anarchist. The number one cause of death among Lib Rights are shootouts with the IRS, and the second most common are drug warehouse raids. The Lib Rights essentially believe that anybody can do whatever they want as long as it's consensual. They also like to pretend they know everything about economics, and let me tell you, sometimes it works. The Lib Rights like their property and want to keep it, so they really hate taxes. No roads, no problem. Just get yourself into an M103 heavy tank, and every stone and tree and building will feel like smooth pavement. Lib Right icons include the Killdozer, Ludwig von Mises, this guy, Florida Man, and Ayn Rand, until she started taking government handouts. Given the hyper-efficiency that capitalism provides, I think it'd be fair to say that the Lib Rights would have a little bit of a head start when it comes to science. Did you know that Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, was worth $400 billion? You gotta get those rookie numbers up, Bezos. But I think that in order to really facilitate trade, you'd have to plop these boys down on an archipelago of islands. Though a desert crossroads where trade beyond their borders is facilitated would also work. But we already have a nation up to their knees in sand. Let's go with something cold. Cold islands or something Scandinavia-esque. So the Vikings if they were better at technology. And in terms of magic, let's say they have to give up gold or some representation of wealth to make stuff happen. That's been part 1 and the rundowns of this hella cursed world. I'm gonna go take some time to extrapolate and form some legit cultures around them. There will be other videos in this series where I tell you how I did it and see how they turned out, because it's late and I want to go to sleep. Thank you all for watching, and if you want more content that will probably be more world building focused, please consider subscribing. I have no money, and I considered recording this on the camera that the iPhone comes with, but then I realized, hey, privacy plus the lack of embarrassment? Hell yeah, I'll just spend a long time editing stuff. I stole all these memes from Political Compass memes on Reddit. There are a bunch of great people who are really open-minded when it comes to jokes, and I recommend that you check them out if you're okay with everyone voicing their opinions and making fun of everyone else. Bye.